Hello everyone, and welcome to Tech Upskill channel. In today's video, I want to discuss a new feature coming to Windows called Recall, and some serious concerns about privacy and security that you might want to consider. Windows Recall is part of the new Copilot PC experience, designed to make finding your past activities easier. But it also brings with it some potential risks. While features like this can improve productivity and efficiency, they also raise questions about what kind of data is being collected, and how that data might be used or accessed by others. So what Recall does, and why you might want to think carefully about whether you want it on your computer. And now let's get started. In essence, Recall is a feature that works by taking screenshots or snapshots of your screen every few seconds. This feature builds a context window that lets you search for specific tasks or content from your past activities. If you're working on multiple projects and often need to find something you were doing hours or even days ago, this feature can seem like a real time saver. By simply writing messages to Recall, it can pull up past actions, almost as though it were rewinding time for you. But there's another side to this. You might think about the kind of personal or sensitive information that could appear in those snapshots. Let's say you were working on a financial document or typing in your credit card information to make a purchase. Would you want a feature that takes screenshots of that process every few seconds? And it's not just a question of whether you can trust Microsoft with this data. There's also the question of whether others could potentially access it. The big concern here is that Recall has already shown some vulnerabilities. Hackers were able to exploit an SQLite database where this information is stored, which means they could potentially access a record of your past activities. Imagine someone being able to see your screen and track what you've done throughout your day. This could be a serious invasion of privacy. And while it's always good to take measures like enabling antivirus software and being careful about the links you click on, sometimes it's the built-in features of our systems that we need to be most cautious about. One major concern is that it appears you won't be able to fully disable Recall on new Windows systems. Microsoft initially announced that Recall would be an opt-in feature, allowing users to decide whether they wanted this feature activated. On June 7th, they stated that due to security concerns, users would have the option to proactively opt in. This announcement came after a wave of backlash from privacy advocates who were worried about the implications of constant screen monitoring. However, reports from later in the year contradict this statement. It turns out that the ability to disable or uninstall Recall may not actually be an option for much longer. Recent updates from Microsoft claim that the ability to uninstall Recall was actually just a bug, not a feature. What that means is that once Recall is officially launched on Copilot PCs, users may no longer have the choice to remove it. While you might still be able to turn off certain aspects of the feature, like snapshot saving, the option to fully disable it may be removed entirely. This back and forth is concerning. If you remember, this isn't the first time Microsoft has made changes that limit user control. In the past, they moved toward requiring a Microsoft account for Windows setup, rather than allowing users to create a local account, which forced people to connect to the cloud for basic computer setup. It required users to disable Wi-Fi and jump through several hoops to avoid using a Microsoft account just to set up a local administrator account on their own computer. With Recall, Microsoft seems to be following a similar pattern, where user choice and control are restricted. Let's go a little deeper into how Recall works. You might wonder, is this feature really taking screenshots, or is there some other way it's tracking my activity? According to what Microsoft has revealed, Recall takes continuous screenshots of your computer to store a timeline of your activities. By default, these snapshots are supposedly stored locally on your device, which, on the surface, might seem safe. Microsoft also says they've designed it with privacy and security built in. But the fact remains that there was a security breach within days of the feature being announced. When the feature was first released, it didn't include encryption on these stored snapshots. That means that if a hacker were to gain access to your device, they might be able to view a full log of everything you've done, down to the exact windows and actions. Microsoft claims to be working on updates to improve the security of Recall, but it's still unclear whether these updates will fully address the underlying risks or simply patch over the initial vulnerabilities. Another concern is that even if you turn off snapshot saving, there's still no guarantee that the feature stops collecting data. Microsoft has stated that disabling snapshot saving simply prevents screenshots from being stored, but that doesn't necessarily mean it stops tracking altogether. It's similar to the way that turning off location services on your phone doesn't always mean the GPS function is completely disabled. It might still be collecting some level of data. One potential risk of recall is that by capturing and storing snapshots, it could be creating a liability for both personal and professional users. Imagine if you work in a field that requires confidentiality, like healthcare or law. A system that takes and saves screenshots could potentially violate confidentiality requirements or regulations, particularly if you're handling sensitive data. For many people, knowing that their system is actively saving screenshots every few seconds could be enough to warrant turning off or disabling this feature, if only that were an option. So what can you do to protect your privacy? First, keep an eye out for any changes Microsoft makes to recall settings, and be aware of any updates that might make it easier or harder to disable this feature. Regularly check for system updates, as Microsoft may release new options or features that help you manage or secure this data. Second, if you're really concerned about privacy, consider using additional software to monitor what recall and similar features are doing. Firewalls, endpoint monitoring tools, and data privacy tools can add layers of security on top of what's built into your operating system. Just be aware that while these tools can help, they might not fully eliminate the risks associated with having recall active on your device. Lastly, you might want to explore different system configurations that minimize the amount of data being shared. While switching operating systems is one option, there are ways to customize your Windows experience to align better with your privacy preferences. Take the time to review the settings for data collection, permissions, and privacy, and consider disabling features that you're not comfortable with. In summary, recall is an intriguing feature that might be useful for some people, but it raises some serious privacy concerns that are worth considering. The idea of having a constant snapshot of your screen saved on your computer is something that we should all take a moment to think about. While Microsoft claims to have built this feature with security in mind, the initial breaches and the inability to fully disable it indicate that it might not yet be as safe as they claim. As always, I encourage everyone to stay informed about changes like these. The digital world is evolving quickly, and with it, the risks we face are changing too. Take a moment to review the security settings on your computer, stay updated on any changes to features like recall, and remember that your privacy is worth protecting. Thanks for watching. And be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you concerned about features like recall, or do you see it as a positive addition to Windows? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I hope you found the video helpful. Please make sure to like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.